It is Sunday, August 28th, 2022. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Sunday puzzle today, which means a very large grid, our jumbo Sunday grid. It should be about a midweek difficulty, but there's just a lot to fill today. And this voluminous edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Lewis Williams, Ryan Eves, and, as always, the inestimable Hood Monster, the invaluable Timothy Mark, and the indomitable Shoalmaster. So thank you so much to the 5 of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support in keeping this channel going. I do very much appreciate that. I'm sorry, I'm just thought to putting my phone in airplane mode. So hopefully, didn't see anyone comment on the cellular noise interference yesterday. So hopefully that means this airplane mode trick suffices, which it should. So, all right. What to say? Yes, thank you to those benefactors who backed the Daily Solve Patreon campaign. If you'd like to join their ranks and get the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses mug, you can find that at patreon.com/dailysolve, and there's a link in the description field underneath the video as well. And if you back the Patreon campaign at any tier, of course, you get access to all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week, such as yesterday's solve of 2 more Boss Words competition puzzles. Those were a lot of fun. I had to puzzle through a couple of themes in those, and trying to do it in a timely manner. And then, of course, the weekly speed solve that went up on Friday of the mini puzzles. Okay. So what else? Do subscribe to the channel. We are, I think, about 200 away now from 10,000 subscribers, which is very exciting. So thank you to everybody who has contributed to that. And you can join the Daily Solve Discord chat server in a link in the description field underneath the video as well. So all that said, it is time to solve the puzzle. This is a Sunday puzzle, a large grid. It was constructed by Ori Bryan, who has constructed around 10 puzzles, somewhere around 10 puzzles, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. It's entitled Animal Hybrids. Like other Sunday puzzles, it has a title. And I wonder if that means we're going to be making portmanteaus of animal names. It's just, I mean, it may be something completely different, but that seems like a possibility based on the title. We'll have to see. I probably will try and move through this slightly quickly if I can, because I am under some time pressure today, and these Sunday puzzles can be very long. So a Gaelic garment. I wonder if this is referring to a tartan, maybe? Not sure. No idea. Things seen in a window. Probably ends in an S. If you're crestfallen, you're sad. So that looks reasonable. If you felt bad about something, you rued it, maybe? You regretted it? Magic trick starter. Maybe the word abracadabra? Okay, this actually looks like tartan is relatively plausible. So, sort of patterned garment associated with Scotland. Let's see, word with garden or party. Tea garden or tea party? Is that? Granada grandpa. Oh, abuelo? Grandfather? In Spanish. And then things seen in a window are what? What are seen in a window? Seems like this should be obvious. Now I'm just doing my thing where I look at the keyboard to get inspired by the letters and don't seem to be coming to any conclusions. Why? This is so odd. Almost the whole word is there. Tags? What would that mean? Sorry, I have no idea what this is. Get a party started. Oh, look at this. Bee, hare, tick. So here are animal hybrids. Oh, I don't know. I shouldn't be spending time on this. I should be moving forward. Lime and soda, e.g. Alcopop? I don't know if that's accurate. I'm not sure. A handful. If you're a handful, you're difficult, not easy. I mean, I'm not sure if that was a handful that wasn't easy. I mean, yeah, I suppose that could be right. I'm not certain about it. How a video game might be played by beginners. Oh, that's funny, because this could also be on easy, which makes me think one of these isn't. I suspect one of these doesn't end on easy. I'd be very surprised if we had the same word converging like that. So maybe I'll just delete these. But this one really does seem like that. How a video game might be played by beginners might be played on easy, and then that puts an S here, and this is a plural clue, so that seems pretty reasonable. Pair in the Winter Olympics. Skis or what else? Paired in the Winter Olympics. Skaters. You could have ice skaters. Paired figure skating, or it's probably a more specific name for that. Warhol's Maryland Diptych, e.g. This is obviously referring to the iconic piece of art. Pop art. Pop art would be the genre for Andy Warhol. There we go. Okay. So, a little of a lot. Carp, pig, snake. I'm not sure. Carp, pig, snake. I'm just not sure what this is getting at. Is there anything? Seem to be any kind of animal at all. We have insects and fish and just mammals and whatever else. Pennsylvania School for short. Oh, pen. I would have thought that. No, it wouldn't be pen, because Pennsylvania is already in the clue, so we wouldn't have an abbreviation of a word from the clue. I mean, there's also Penn State. I wouldn't have thought that abbreviates to 4 letters like this, so I'm not sure what it is. Opposite of un adversaire. So opposite of an adversary in French would be an allié? Ally? Or is it this? It's probably this. A-L-L-E with an accent on the E. That's probably what it is. Antagonism is what? Target of a modern scam and non-medical organization that uses X-rays. I don't know, something regarding space or non-medical organization that uses X-rays. Who else uses X-rays? Oh, the TSA, of course. The Transport Security Agency at airports. Of course. Okay, antagonism. And then what is this? Goes wild. Let's see, what else can we do? I'm doing this thing that I shouldn't do. I've commented on this one before. When I'm solving crosswords on my own, I'll just jump all through the grid and get everything that I can solve, and then it makes everything else easier because you have more crosses. When I'm doing it on video, I tend to not want to move on because I want to solve the thing I've encountered, and it ends up taking me much longer. I shouldn't do that. Creatures described from catarrhine, from the Latin for downward nosed. Interesting, I don't know. With 47 down, that's all, follower. That's all she wrote. I bet that is. They say. That's all she wrote. End of the story. Cut deeply is gash, maybe? And prose with negotiations. Some things with an S over. That's that theme. Not sure. Was word worthwhile with off. It paid off. And a bit of tomfoolery. And what was this again? The creature, right? The creatures. Downward nosed. Not sure. Actress Seyfried of The Dropout. Oh, Amanda Seyfried is an actor? There we go. A handful. Not many. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. It's completely different than the sense I was imagining. Nothing to do with difficulty. It's not even being used particularly metaphorically. I suppose it's a slight bit of a metaphor, but you could have a literal handful of something in your actual hand. Spend time together in slang to hang, I guess. And prose with negotiations are agents, right? Negotiating on behalf of, say, an actor like Amanda Seyfried. Okay. Oh, apes. Is that what that is? Creatures described as catarrhine from the Latin for downward nosed. Is that what that is? And bit of tomfoolery. An escapade. There we go. Oh, this looks like break the ice. Break the ice. Okay, what is... Okay, so B... Is tick related to lice? Is that what's going on there? Sorry, I'm going to take a drink of water for a moment. Okay, so what is going on here? Bee, hair, tick. What is this? Oh, is it... Oh, it's an anagram. B... It is. Beeharitic. Okay, look at that. Okay, so this is sort of... it's the kind of thing you find in cryptic clues. It wouldn't be clued this way, but we are anagramming bee, hare, and tick in order to make the phrase break the ice. So what was this again? We have carp, pig, and snake. And we have a little of a lot. So this is a great use for the pencil tool for me. So carp, pig, snake. C-A-R, I'm just going to put them in places that are sort of vaguely feasible. C-A-R-P, P, another P, I, G, we have that, S, N, A, K, E. Oh, I missed a letter, so C, sorry. C-A-R-P, we have carp, pig, P-I-G, and then S, N, oh, we need another A. Okay. Oh, packing, spare, a little of a lot. No, it doesn't look right. A little of a lot. Pecking? Sorry, this probably isn't helping me out. Maybe I'll just remember it. Sorry. Sometimes when I'm doing anagrams, this kind of method helps, but I find on the video, for some reason, I freeze up and I can't really quite find it. Bias is slant. So that was a bit of a failure there. Lime and soda. Oh, they're alkalis. There we go. Okay. Alkaline substances, and then antagonism, and what was this? Target of a modern scam. And ending with orange. Orangeade, maybe the drink. Locale of many vines. Cat, elephant worm, right? It's one of these. Let's come back to that. Fancy flower holders. Urns, maybe? Light touches are taps, perhaps? Sacred hieroglyph could be an ankh. It's a symbol of life, among other things. And goes wild is runs amok. Antagonism. Animus? Maybe this, I see. This isn't ally, the opposite of un adversaire. It's M. It's ami. It's a friend. It's the feminine form of friend. I should have paid more attention to the gender here. Un adversaire would be a female enemy. So the opposite of that would be a female friend, ami with an E at the end. Okay, so antagonism is animus, and Pennsylvania school for short is Pittsburgh? I don't know. Target of a modern scan. Oh, retinus. Did I say scam? I don't know if I aloud said scan or scam, but in my head I was thinking scam, and that put me completely on the wrong track. So anyway, this is a parking... okay, sorry, what letters do we have left? There are only two, so there are only two possibilities for their order. So we have... we do need a C. We don't have a C yet. C-A-R-P... Oh. Something looks wrong here. We need two P's and a C, and I don't see how those could possibly fit. Well, what did I do wrong? No wonder I wasn't getting this. A little of a lot. A parking space? Oh, parking space. Yes, there we go. Sorry. A little of a lot as in a parking lot. There we go. Light touches are pats. There we go. Okay, not tats. Funny that you could spell it either way, pat or tap. They're palindromes, and they can be synonyms. So anyway, parking space, there we go. Sorry about all of that. Maker of Chromebooks must be the computer company Acer, I suppose. And then subjects of some promotions are something. And here we have locale of many vines. Well, I don't know, we'll come back to it. SmackDown organization. I think that's the wrestling thing. WWE, formerly WWF, as I now know from a commenter. Subject of some promotions are pawns in chess. They could be promoted to a queen if they reach the other side of the board. Like a vampire's face stereotypically is ashen, presumably. Like Antarctica is arid, maybe, very dry. Rhizome to a botanist, and site to flick through flicks IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, I suspect is the answer there. Ugh, some people. And morning TV host Cotby. And request for a hand. Deal me in? You could request to a dealer at a poker table or something else. Buzzkill. Bat, elk, newt. So here we have another one of these. A wet blanket. There we go. Okay. That went better than the previous anagram attempt. Rhizome to a botanist is what, a root something? That sounds right to me. Root. I'm not sure. TV, newspapers, streaming services, etc. The media, maybe? Okay, your goal is your aim. A natural source of glitter is mica? I'm not sure. Seems like that could be plausible, but I don't know anything about glitter production, I must admit. Oh, gotcha. I see. Immediately following would be next. And the next clue is spare part, question mark? Ah, so a pin. So this refers to the reason we have a question mark. This is a bit of punnery or wordplay, and it's referring to a spare in bowling. When you, a spare, I think, is when you knock down all the pins, but it takes you two bowls, or two whatever they are, throws, bowls. Okay, go down in a way. Lose? You go down, you lose the battle, the game. Fashionable, I'm not certain that's correct. NSYNC member who later became a gay rights activist. This looks like Lance, who I sort of vaguely remember as maybe being one of them. Potent potables for $1,000 blank. One-time TV request. This would be Alex Trebek of Jeopardy. The late Alex Trebek, sadly. Fashionable spots are... Do I have something wrong? Oh, polka dots. Okay, I see. So fashionable spots meaning spots used in a fashion context. So on textile, fabric for clothing. That's funny. Okay. Sapa blank, ancient emperor's title. Inca? Strong connection could be a bond. And common cause of some impulsive behavior. In brief, ADHD, perhaps? And then locale of many vines, cat, elephant, worm. Locale of many vines. And Al blank, family of Syrian leaders. Assad. So Sapa Inca does look right. And then beep, source. Well, that's very vague. Beep. Lots of things, I suppose. Pranksters' offerings are gags, maybe? I mean, it probably ends with an S. So NSYNC member Lance Bass or Bass seems right. I mean, again, that sort of does sound familiar. Okay, so let's see. Locale of many vines. What about this? Medical plan initials. Oh, this is something I mentioned yesterday because I thought maybe it was related to a clue, but I don't think it was. Anyway, an HMO, which is a sort of grouping of medical practices for insurance purposes in the United States. Best-selling author Hogue is, I don't know, root something, rhizome to a botanist. And then here we have life preserver. I don't know, DNA or something. There's a question mark, so this is being used in a slightly punny way in some way. Sir's counterparts could be ma'ams as a formal address, and then glitzy informally. Not sure. So what about this again? Locale of many vines. Watermelon patch. Ah, there you go. Many vines, many watermelon vines. And then rhizome is a root. Stella root? Stalk? I don't... best-selling author hook. I just can't place this. What about this? Oh, life preserver, an ark, maybe. Such as Noah's Ark. Noah came up in the puzzle the other day. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so rootstock. Details to be negotiated. Terms. Terms of a deal. So this looks like Tammy Hogue, fair enough. And glitzy informally is glam, maybe. Yeah. You could describe somebody as glam in an informal way. And then prankster's offerings are, what did I think, gags, perhaps? Oh yeah, beep source is a pager. In fact, I mean, I think someone told me in a comment, I think they still are in use in the medical profession. But anyway, they remember they used to be called beepers as well. I never had a pager. Prankster's offerings, does look like it could be gags. Name that's a letter off from 25 across. Alex, could very well be Alec. Straightforward substitution. And 3 feet by 5 feet, e.g. So a spec, maybe? A specification? It's fairly vague, but it could be with that C. Auctioneer's aid. A gavel. I was thinking guide as in guide price, but a gavel, which they will bang when the item is sold. Okay, to make dry as salmon. Overcook, maybe? Or overbake, overcook, probably. Tried to fight, and what you can rarely do at a red light. Go left. So in the US, you can often turn right when stopped at a red light, but you certainly couldn't turn left at a red light. So I think that may be what this is referring to. Initials in biotech. GMO, genetically modified organism. And kvetch is to moan or to what? It is that. It's to complain, but what is it here? Yeah, whatever you say. Okay, fine, maybe. Oops. So it goes. Oh, maybe this isn't okay, fine. Maybe it's okay, sure. And then so it goes is alas. One might be accessed by a QR code nowadays. Menu. That seems to be popping up more and more often now. You scan a menu at your table. And a kvetch. Oh, maybe you could also refer to a person as a kvetch. A moaner. Actually, that might be it. And then to lean towards something is to prefer it. And tried to fight. Came to or came up or... let's keep looking around. Gray, brown, flycatchers. Gray, brown, flycatchers. What about this? Oops. This book is reserve, maybe? As in a table at a restaurant. And an overnight perch is... What else can we do with these letters? Devilish look. Question mark. Oh, the evil eye, maybe? No, that doesn't fit. What else can we look at? This looks like fruitful ground. Night spot and a Manilow hit, in brief. The Copa. Copacabana. Something you might stop on by the shower. Cobra, moth, seal. This looks like bathroom scale. And there's our anagram of cobra, moth, and seal. That one came more easily than the others. Cut off is to lop off, straightforwardly. A merchant's stock is their goods. And one might develop consciousness in a sci-fi story. A robot is often depicted as having consciousness in science fiction. My bad is oops, and placeholder initials are TBD, to be determined. second caliph of Sunni Islam. Oh, interesting. I don't think I actually know this. Legal contract phrase. And Doubleday, who is miscredited with inventing baseball. Interesting. Not miscredited by me, that's for sure. I don't think I've ever credited or miscredited somebody for their invention of baseball. Okay, let's keep looking. Pain relief pill. Advil, maybe, if it were a brand name? A long, long time. An eon spelled in this manner to make it fill 4 letters, perhaps? Genesis matriarch. I mean, Eve is the obvious one, but presumably not the answer here. Pain relief pill. Oh, right, so maybe it is Advil. Oh, long-running soap opera that debuted in 1963. Ant Gorilla Sheep. Oh, you know what? Maybe this isn't a long, long time. Or sorry, maybe this isn't Eon. I bet it's ages. This could be General Hospital, which I don't think I've ever seen, but I've heard of as a soap opera. I don't know if it's still going. Presumably it is, based on the clue. It didn't say former. I guess it wouldn't need to. Anyway, Genesis matriarch and this. Okay, I don't think Advil is correct. Is this Leah, maybe? Aleve is another pain relief brand. So do these work? Warrant is Earn, maybe? I don't know, I'm not very confident about that. Matriculation group is enrollees, maybe? At a university, say, matriculating. And, oh, maybe Warrant is Earn. So beats me, I've no idea. Yeah, so I felt about some of the anagrams in this puzzle. Legal contract phrase. And Doubleday, I don't know, Abner? I mean, that sounds like an old-timey name that could have been erroneously claimed to have invented baseball. Legal content phrase, how do I keep saying content? Legal contract phrase. In regards to? Umar, second caliph of Sunni Islam. I mean, I'll have to just assume that's correct because I can't error check that myself. Tried to fight. Oh, came at, maybe. I think that's better than what my guesses were. Overnight perch is a roost, maybe, for chickens, that sort of thing. Bridge that's painted international orange. This is the Golden Gate Bridge. People sometimes say, why is it orange and not golden? It's because the golden has nothing to do with that. It's the bridge of the Golden Gate. So the bridge is a separate word to the Golden Gate, which is its own compound phrase that's referencing California. Okay, summer top could be a t-shirt. And a certain sports tiebreaker is a shootout, maybe? Like a penalty shootout? And then, oh, London Landmark, look at that. Beetle, Hog, Rat. Globe Theatre, perhaps? Does that actually work with those? Yep, it looks like it does. So the Globe Theatre is the sort of the reconstructed modern incarnation of Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, located near but not exactly on the site of the original original Globe Theatre in which Shakespeare's plays were produced. It was the current one was the result of decades of work by Sam Wanamaker, who is an American actor who basically self-exiled to the United Kingdom because of the blacklist, the Hollywood sort of communist Red Scare blacklist in the United States. And he left the United States permanently and resettled in the United Kingdom and thought it's outrageous that there is no real tribute to the legacy of Shakespeare in the Globe Theatre in London. And so he spent decades and decades, I think 30 to 40, possibly even more than that. I mean, it wasn't until the 90s, I think, that the Globe Theatre eventually opened. And by the time it opened, I think Sam Wanamaker had passed away, sadly, but it was absolutely his legacy. All right. Anyway, a wild and you can see theater there now. Wild guess is a stab, and stronghold is an iron grip, maybe. 401k alternative in brief is an IRA, an individual retirement account, which is a sort of personal pension investment instrument in the United States. And a rug thickness is the pile of the rug. Is it peel? Pile? Actually, this is one of those words I never really have cause to say out loud in this context, so I'm not completely certain. But anyway, that is, I think, reference to the thickness of a rug. And then test for future PhDs could be the GRE, which is taken for graduate school admissions. And then blank song, the siren song, the temptation, such as Odysseus had himself lashed to the mast of his ship so he could hear safely. No, not true. That's a lie. That thing about Abner Doubleday inventing baseball. To end up being is to, I don't know why am I not seeing it. Blank Malnati's, Chicago-style pizza chain. I've never heard of this, but my guess is Lou, which just looks like a name. So, guard seen around a castle could be a moat. A moat could guard a castle. And to end up being something is to amount to it. There we go. Drink with a spoon straw. An icy is sort of blended ice fruit drink. And then number of planetas and el sistema solar. So here we have 8 planets in the solar system, no longer 9, with the demotion of Pluto. Actress Perlman, the great comic actor Rhea Perlman, and word with power, talk, or band. Girl power, girl talk, or girl band are all common phrases. And then part of UCLA is, UCLA is the University of Los Angeles, so the L there is the Los in Los Angeles. Poetic tributes are, of course, odes, the official poetic form of the New York Times crossword. And to fasten with a belt is to gird, I suppose, yeah. You sort of gird yourself with a belt. Floor square is a tile. And agenda topics are agenda items. If you're in good condition, you're trim, you're fit. Okay, Chaplain of Game of Thrones. Oh, I've seen this before. Is it... Well, I haven't seen Game of Thrones, but I have seen this name. It's either Una or Lena. Una would be... One of them is an older person. This is ridiculous that I can't think of this. Well, they both end in A. Sorry about that. Fire Tablet Competitor is an iPad, presumably. And show with the Miami spinoff. Oh, right. There's a CSI Miami, so that must be the answer. And I saw, actually, it's funny Game of Thrones in here. I saw a play yesterday with Amelia Clark, who I gather is in Game of Thrones and is sort of best known for that. I saw her on stage last night, and I realized I don't think I've ever actually seen her in anything until I saw her in that play. So that was sort of funny. It was a revival of Anton Chekhov's The Seagull. Even though I recognized her, and I'd actually seen her in person before. I'd literally walked by her in Chelsea in London, and I did not bother her or say hello, but it was just recognized the celebrity, as you do. Anyway, so that's a person I've technically seen more in person than on the screen, strangely enough. Okay, wave to one. Well, it's not strange for that to be true about a person, but it is more unusual when it's a celebrity. Anyway, wave to one's math professor is a sine wave, perhaps? And oh, here we go. Oh, it could be either still. Lena or Una. That's so funny. Wiped out is erased off of a dry erase board, for instance. Sippy cup users are tots. And gray-brown flycatchers are... why don't I... Well, this seems like it would be very specific. What about this? Gets around. You avoids or evades. Could be either one of those, I think, plausibly. Symbol for an audio device. I'm not sure what that wants. A mic? I'm not really sure. Surrender is... Maybe this is evades, actually. Which I suppose is actually maybe slightly more accurate for gets around. You evade an obstacle, you get around it. And then, because surrender could be cede. That's why I thought maybe that was the case. Boardroom VIP could be a CEO. I mean, it could be another CEO, could be another chief officer. But this would be the most likely one, I suppose. Summit of Mount Purgatory in Dante's Divine Comedy. Oof, I'm actually not sure. What about this? Oh, Mountain Greek myth. Mount Ossa? One of the Williamses is Serena. And, oh, symbol for an audio device, an ear. Oh, and here's our revealer. We didn't look at this. Mixes animal species, as 8 answers in this puzzle do. Crossbreeds, very clever. So, oh, and then Summit of Mount Purgatory is Eden. Oh, okay, in Dante's Divine Comedy. And then, okay, so this is Una. This is Una Chaplin. And then Devilish Look is a goatee, right? The devil is often depicted with a goatee for whatever reason. I wonder what the origin of that is. And then gray-brown flycatchers are phoebes. And is that... No, it's not the answer. Ah, what a disaster. Okay. It's just on a Sunday puzzle. This is a bigger deal. Okay, I'm going to have to take a look through this and just see. Sorry about this. If this takes me a long time, I will edit it down. Break the ice. Parking space. Yeah, I'm sure that's correct. On easy, yeah. What was this? Oh, Tammy Hogue. Okay, I don't know this person, but let's just look. Yeah, I think those are all right. Sorry if this was something very obvious that you've all been noticing for 20 minutes and... Oh, that doesn't look right. Pair in the winter. Oh, pair of skates, not pair of skaters. That was ridiculous. That was a mistake from the very first moment I put it in, because this is a pair in the Winter Olympics. It wouldn't be skater, because the pair would be the skaters. If it were a pair of skaters, that's what it would be. So it's a pair of skates, and that's the solution. Sorry about that. All right. So there we have it. Despite that irritating mistake of mine, we've solved the puzzle, the rest of it, and there we go. A really nice anagram theme here. So we have a bee, hare, and tick. They're getting the party started by breaking the ice. The bat, elk, and newt are a real buzzkill, wet blanket. The carp, pig, and snake are a little of a lot, providing a parking space. The cat, elephant, and worm can be found in a locale of many vines, a watermelon patch. The cobra, moth, and seal are stepping on something by the shower, the bathroom scale. An ant, a gorilla, and a sheep appeared in a long-running soap opera that debuted in 1963, General Hospital. And the beetle, the hog, and the rat attended a performance at this London landmark, the Globe Theatre. So there we go. These are all of our crossbreeds. Very clever clue. And how many of those did we have? 8. Wow. Yeah, that's quite something. So Ori Bryan really must have spent a long time at, I don't know, at some sort of anagram solving service. I know there are at least a few websites that do that, like the Internet Anagram Server, I think. It's one of them. So I wonder if this was trial and error or if there was some sort of... Oh, we didn't do this. The dog, the eel, and the gnat cross the bridge that's painted international orange, the Golden Gate Bridge. Did I miss any others? No, they're not highlighted here. Yeah, I think I got all the rest. Anyway, yeah, I wonder if this was trial and error or if there was some kind of code-assisted solution. I think sometimes it is the case that crossword constructors will, I mean, those who have the knowledge to do so will write bits of code in order to help them find candidates for particular themes by sort of crawling through, enormous word lists, that sort of thing. I wonder how this one was found. Could have just been trial and error. I have no idea. Anyway, fun puzzle, fun Sunday puzzle. Big grid, not too. Didn't take too long, which is nice. Sometimes they can go on longer than this. And now let's discuss a few clues from yesterday's puzzle. Looks like I have several here. So Ben Ward explains radamanthine apparently means showing stern and inflexible judgment, and comes from Rhadamanthus of Greek mythology, a son of Zeus and Europa, who was rewarded for his exemplary justice by being made a judge of the dead in the underworld. I'll have to keep that one in mind. Rhadamanthine, showing stern and inflexible judgment. I don't know when I'm going to have an opportunity to deploy that one, but that's a good word. All right, Dragon Traces has sort of a little pressy here on Joanne Woodward and Joanne Whaley, the two Joannes from yesterday's puzzle. So Joanne Woodward, while she had quite a successful and varied show business career, Joanne Woodward is especially known for her Academy Award performance in the late 1950s as the lead in the film The Three Faces of Eve, concerning what used to be commonly known as multiple personality disorder. She is probably even better known for her long marriage, around 50 years, to Paul Newman. And then Joanne Whaley is a British actress who starred in Willow with, and later married, actor Val Kilmer. Much more recently, she was one of the stunning cast of the BBC Two miniseries Wolf Hall, portraying Catherine of Aragon. I remember her from her part as the nurse, I can't recall the name, in the truly memorable BBC production of The Singing Detective that starred Michael Gambon. So sadly, out of all of these, the only of any of these I've seen is the Wolf Hall miniseries, which I do agree is absolutely excellent. Starred, what's his name? I just saw him in a play recently as well. Sorry, who was in Wolf Hall? What is the actor's name? Mark Rylance. Sorry, Mark Rylance, yes. So that was a waste of everyone's time. Sorry. Anyway, it was absolutely fantastic. I agree. I didn't remember Joanne Whaley was in that, but it was great. The Wolf Hall books are absolutely great. The stage production was great. I saw that as well. I just absolutely love everything related to Wolf Hall. Anyway, let's move on. Clara, regarding tonic water and its malaria combating properties, explains quinine in the tonic is still used against malaria. You can't drink tonic water itself to save yourself against malaria anymore, as they have reduced the levels of quinine in the tonic. The bitterness of the quinine you mentioned is said to be the reason for the gin and tonic as a cocktail, as the gin was added to make the tonic more palatable. Which is very funny because that's usually the opposite of what happens in a gin. You add some kind of sweetening element in order to soften the spirit. And Schulmeister actually makes that same point. I find that adverse to the function of a cocktail, making the liquor base more palatable. And in the case of gin, that's a tall order. Well, fair enough. I do have to admit I'd love a gin and tonic. In fact, I had one last night at that very play. Not the one with Mark Rylance, the one with Amelia Clark. Kathleen Quinn explains HGTV is the home and garden television channel, known especially for home remodeling and restoration programs. HGTV ran the series Fixer Upper, starring Chip and Joanna Gaines, for 5 seasons. The Gaines left the show to take a hiatus and develop other aspects of their businesses. DIY Network was an HGTV spinoff also featuring home renovation programming. A couple of years ago, the DIY Network was purchased by the Gaines and is now known as the Magnolia Network. All right. I suspect I'll remember HGTV is home and garden television. I suspect I won't remember the rest of that. But thank you, Kathleen Quinn, for the rundown. Rick DiNatale explains about the superhero Shazam being the new name for the Fawcett Comics hero originally named Captain Marvel, whose alter ego was Billy Batson, whose magic word Shazam, an acronym of the 6 immortal elders, Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, and Mercury, transformed him into the superhero. Gomer Pyle of The Andy Griffith Show and the spin-off Gomer Pyle USMC used to frequently say Shazam. Fawcett the company, I guess, sold the rights to Captain Marvel to DC Comics after the latter sued infringement of Superman. DC later renamed him to Shazam after copyright claims by Marvel Comics. All right, that's all very convoluted, but thank you for that. So that was referencing the hero yesterday with the lightning bolt on his chest. Okay, and Craig Jones finally points out that Acura models include the TLX, the NSX, the MDX, and the RDX. So that was in reference to the clue yesterday that called for an automobile mark whose models usually end with the letter X. It was Acura, so there we go. All right, and that's that for today's puzzle after some interesting clues from yesterday's puzzle as well. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, for the much smoother, quicker, easier, smaller Monday grid. Hope you'll join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Sunday. Take care.